Hello and welcome to Garblag Games. Tonight we have episode 9 of Roads and Ruins, our Pathfinder 2nd edition hexcrawl extravaganza. Happy International Women's Day, everybody. I'm Pete and I am the Game Master.
Hello and good evening. I'm Aldun and I will be playing Clip.
Butras.
It's a really long character name.
Buddha Solo. Clip Killhaven, the elven gunslinger, who, if I can get my voice thing to work, will sound vaguely Texan.
Hi, I'm Roger, and I'm playing Einar Eriksson, the Jotun champion.
Hi, I'm Millie. My character is Rusilka, the ruddy amazing, who is a swashbuckling dwarf.
Hi, I'm Ben, and I'm typing, but I'm also playing Crow Atoan, the lizard folk barbarian with a hint of druid.
And good evening all, I am Dan and I am playing LaRue Renard, the Kitsune Oracle.
Excellent, excellent. And last time on Pathfinder, we had a fun adventure as you made your way across the land towards the eruption of dust. And you kind of made your way across the plains and through some woods without rolling any encounters, right up until the hex just before what will come to be known as the Udril opening. And you heard some grunting noises and you saw that this whole landscape around here has sort of been impacted by falling rocks and broken trees and kind of devastation from over in that direction, which is still a way away. And something large had gathered a load of these rocks and boulders together and made a kind of cave without a roof, and you could hear sort of grunting and snarling and stuff going on in there. And as you approached, you saw that there was some strange, huge creature, a giant from the Underdark, from Udril, the realm below, and obviously escaped up through a crack in the ground caused by whatever has erupted. And you decided to dispatch the foul. Well, I think it attacked you, didn't it? It came charging out, sniffed you, and thought, "Oh, fresh food. I shall come out and attack you." And there was a pretty hefty fight. Some close combat with a giant. Wasn't anything to be sniffed at. And I think Einar, Rusilka, and Crow were all pretty battered in melee. And I think LaRue had to step in and do a bit of healing.
Yeah.
Clip was scoping things out from afar, slightly unfortunate with a few rolls, but covering everybody just in case there were other creatures coming or something to that effect. And you were victorious eventually. The huge creature fell after who's was it Einar that cut it down?
Yeah.
Generally is, isn't it? Killed the creature, and you then discovered inside the cave there were two interesting areas. There was a big pile of dung in one corner, there was a big pile of chewed on bodies in the other corner, and there was actually still a moving person, which was an orc from the Underdark, from Udril. And he was a bit hurt, looked like he was about to be served up as dinner. And you patched him up, and what did he tell you? Anyone remember a conversation with
Any
Magras?
curious things?
Well, he was a bit scared about the sky, wasn't he? And he had never lived
But he was
anywhere.
a mapper. He was a Pathfinder.
Yep.
Not in the Pathfinder sense of Pathfinder,
He was an
but the person
explorer.
who finds the path sense of Pathfinder.
Mhm.
And he was out mapping Udril to find out what was going on in different distant parts of the tunnels. And then the tunnels opened up and he was like, "Oh, look, there's the sky."
Yeah. So he had told you that in certain sectors there'd been activity and ground quakes and things going on. And then this eruption was so huge that it had thrown vast quantities of rock into the sky.
Yeah, he was like
Yes.
tertiary adjunct of subjunction 01 or something.
Yeah. He says more stuff like that. It sounds like a very militaristic style demarcation of tunnels and areas that he kind of rattles off every now and then, and you kind of get the sense he's talking like counties or regions and zones, but they've got very functional names rather than named after features. And those of you who have had your experiences with Braktagar, and you know of the under Braktagar, which is the kind of twin empire of these creatures underground, probably surmise that he's been moving around in this area where it's under this tight control, but he's trying to find his way out or way through. So he's quite injured, and you've made a little lean-to, a little ramshackle hut with some sticks and twigs, and it's the following day as you've all had a rest, and you're recuperate, you replenish your powers and your spells, and you can each from natural healing recover a number of hit points equal to your level times your constitution modifier, minimum of 1. So even if your constitution modifier is negative, you count it as a 1. So everyone should get at least 3 hit points back just from sleeping. And you awaken on the following day, and the dust is now completely settled. It's been, 2 weeks since the eruption. You've traveled across land to make your way, and the Amber Watch party rises as Ondrum comes round, as Sericron comes round Ondrum's flanks, casting light across the land, and it is dawn, and you all look out, and as you kind of come out, you find Ragras standing on a rock, staring at the dawn, his eyes sort of running with tears, and he's just kind of, you kind of see him off to the side. He's not like in the middle of the camp. He's kind of wandered off to marvel at the dawn. And you're all there in the camp, your kind of camp area. What do you want to do? Do you want to head off into the next hex to get to the opening, or do you want to do anything in your current area? So you're in the blue one here. Obviously, it says party. I should change that to the Amber Watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the yellow hex here is where the dust has settled, and you saw from afar that there were kind of flattened trees everywhere and overturned earth, and it all looks very, where everywhere else is kind of like green and pleasant and stuff. This area looks very brown and dark. The earth has been turned, rocks have thrown out, trees have fallen down, leaves have gone, or mulched. It's kind of like, looks like someone's completely turned over this area.
I'm going to go up and poke Ragrast.
Yes.
Need to tell him to stop staring at the bright orb.
This is what I do. Do not stare into Sericron,
No.
because Sericron stares also into you.
What?
When you stare too much at the sun stares also into you, and it may judge you. It is not good to look straight into the sun.
You all live with this judgment here on the surface?
Yes, we
Hey,
learn.
look, no one's judging me for my actions. No sun, no one else. But don't look at it, because it's not good for your eyes.
I can already tell this. I have a strange blue blob in front of your face.
Yes, it will pass.
Eventually, in a while. Who's for breakfast? I got hot brown morning potion and I got eggs.
Oh, speaking my language there, Elf.
Hot brown morning potion.
Yep.
You will like hot brown morning potion. It is fun and exciting, and after you will like to climb and climb.
Or run and run, or just sit there and twitch slightly, depending on your preference.
Oh, okay.
Also, these eggs are from birds. It is safe.
Fair very well. He seems confused and he's kind of stunned. He's taking in the world around him and kind of, he's like speechless. He's kind of sitting there and he starts writing in his, because he's got his backpack and he had his journal in there. So he's sort of writing stuff and you see him kind of sketching stuff and he's like looking at each of you in turn and drawing in his book. And he's like, oh, what?
Yeah, son, can you tell us anything about that there cataclysm?
Oh, I know that forces had been massing in the area. The local general of the Underbracht Guard was trying to make a move on the neighboring faction. I was trying not to get too close to it in my exploration, just close enough to see what was going on or to find a way up or out or through.
So you're saying this here is a military action?
Oh, no, I doubt that their forces, although vast, would have the kind of, I don't understand what you would need to do this kind of thing.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'll put some money on it being gnomes.
well, wouldn't surprise me.
I've never met a gnome.
Have you ever met anyone like no one's like our Rusulka, but have you met others that are visually similar?
Dwarves?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yes, there are dwarves in Udril,
Okay.
several kinds.
What kinds you got?
There's the rock.
They got both kinds, country and western.
There's the rock dwarves, the tunnel dwarves. We don't deal with the tunnel dwarves. They don't want to have anything to do with us. They're higher up in the strata, and the grey dwarves. They are trouble. They are. Oh, I tend to stay away from them. You know, our enclave is. He's suddenly sort of thinks for a moment. He's like, oh, and a dark look comes across his features as he kind of is obviously thinking about people somewhere else.
You got
Hey, can I
folk
try
at
and-
home?
Oh, sorry, Arden.
You got folk at home? Are they in trouble? Are they going to be affected by this?
I do not know. Are you
Can-
going that way?
Well, I was going to say, can we help you get back to where you were? Because you were under all this, and we don't really know how to get there.
But why would I go back down there? He says, looking up at the sky, and there's a flock of what look like birds, and then you see they're actually really far away, and there's hawk folk fluttering down from a stalactite on the ceiling of Glorum and swirling around in a big pattern, a hunting dive, and then they go off. And he's like, wow, what amazing things.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
And everything here isn't trying to kill me.
Not
Well,
everything.
Not
no.
everything, no.
Some things will try to kill you.
Oh yeah.
He
Maybe
points
we
to the
can make
big
for a
giant, and
trade.
he's like, that thing is from down there, so.
No, we did a couple of run-ins with some plants the other day. That wasn't grand. Hey, Crow.
What, like ropers or
No, like
or shriekers or
No,
No,
like
the
a forest
eaters.
thing.
The
Yeah,
big eaters.
oh,
They got like a big tongue, and it's got like a barb, and you got to grab them by the garlic and just chew.
Maybe we can make a trade with you, that you can show us where you are from, and we can show you where we are from. And we will do a trade, yes? While I'm talking, can I be crafting something, Pete? I want to make him some of those little Eskimo goggles with the little bit
Oh,
that
yeah.
sits up there so that you
Cool.
don't get sun glare. I'm going to try anyway. So it's a 19 on a craft
on the
check.
I haven't clicked on the roll bit. Yeah, that's fine. You just make a little.
Just
you know,
like a little pair of goggles to
Yeah, they're
sit on.
kind of cool Ray-Bans with a little
Yeah.
thing over the top. Yeah.
Rocking the Cyclops look.
Yeah. No, very cool. That's quite cool. Orc Explorer.
And I
He's
shall
quite a
poke him with
lean-
them and say, here,
He's quite a lean,
here, wear
muscular.
this, wear this.
He's quite a lean, muscular chap. As he, he kind of gets up, puts them on, and he's like, "Oh, thank you."
It will make the sky seem smaller.
Yes, it's kind of like a restricting window. Keeps some of the pain out.
Yes.
I will adjust. I will adjust.
Yes.
And he's kind of takes them off for a minute and puts them down and sketches them in his book. Crow, yes, crow.
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 How many in there?
Just 2.
Kind of does a little sketch. He's quite a good drawer actually. Seems to capture things quite well, quite quickly. You know, fairly rough, but like a good outline to it. And as he's kind of flicking through his book, you can see there's lots of strange pictures of kind of fungal growths, stalactite. They look like stalactites, and then you realize he's drawn extra things hanging off of them, and then maybe it's some sort of creature that disguises itself as a stalactite.
What's one of those?
Oh, well, I call them a snare rock, but they call them ropers, lurkers above, all kinds of things.
Oh, so it pretends to be a
Gladash.
stalactite and then grabs its prey. Yeah, we got
Yes.
some plants that do that.
Okay.
Only they do not pretend to be plants. They are plants.
He sees
Yeah.
he sees like a large bush shrub near him, and he kind of slides away from it slightly.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Look, yeah, so you're heading in this. He says, pointing towards the devastation. You're heading in that direction, yes?
Oh, we come to investigate big hole in ground.
Yeah, we're explorers like you.
Right.
That's why we're right curious about your underground world.
It's look, there was an army, 2 armies. There was a battle going on in the tunnels of that sector. As far as I know, we were told to stay clear because the Underbractigar forces were trying to rid themselves of the cult of Zaltrox.
We have problems with Overbractigar.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
They
true
come
then.
to steal and take and cut down trees.
Yeah, I'm sorry, cult of what now?
Zaltrox the Cruel.
Zaltrox. How many X's are in that?
Just the one.
Just the one. That goes at the end, right?
It is a local menace that has been plaguing barracks on the edge of this area.
Okay. Well, this is all a mite disturbing. We have a scribe back at our main base who is just going to love talking to you because you aren't going to give them so many things they don't know about.
And they're also an orc. Could be important.
From a drill.
I don't know where she's from.
I don't rightly know.
I now feel really bad that I've never asked Krill where she's from.
So rude.
We're saving it for the spa night.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's right.
That's true. Well,
So
First, we must investigate big hole in ground
yeah.
to
So
take back information.
is there anything you can warn us of? Anything that we should know about?
the dragon.
That, okay, good. Good. I'm glad you started with that.
Zaltrox is not one to be messed with.
Zaltrox is a dragon.
Is that the dragon that came
yeah,
here?
that's the dragon.
Oh, that is the one
that
with
we
the
saw
cult.
flying.
I don't know.
What
It is
color?
blue-green.
No, what color is Zaltrox?
It's a dragon infused with powers of Zadumir.
All right. What color is
Yeah.
that?
It has a shifting shade of steel and fire.
Oh, not the dragon we saw.
Different dragon.
Different dragon. All right, cool.
That does sound very cool.
It's dangerous. This cult has worshipped it for a long time and grown in the local area, calling in many kobold clans to its number.
Oh,
Weak
yeah.
On their own, in huge numbers, they would cause a challenge. A rumor is that the general had finally had enough and decided to rid himself of this cult. But the interesting thing is, some people believe that the cult had found something. It looks like maybe they did.
What sort of something?
Something that could blow a hole from Udril to Arlorn.
That does not seem like a wise thing to have.
Especially not for kobolds.
Uh,
I don't know. I don't know.
okay.
It's all
Well,
the rumors that we hear through sympathizers and those who would rather not be under the control of Relevok in any way.
yeah. It all sounds very militaristic and just a little bit not free at all down there. So I can see why you might want to stay up here. We're gonna have to go check this out because
Yes.
that's our job. Okay, good.
I would be extremely cautious.
Please
This
to come
eru-
with. You
If
can be
this
our
eruption,
guide.
I will come with you, but I'm not a warrior. I am an explorer.
No, you stay at the back and make notes, boy.
Yes, yes. We will fight.
There were hundreds of troops massing in the area beneath here.
I don't mean to be
Think-
rude, but I've spoken to folk who don't actually know how to count before. When you say hundreds, you actually mean hundreds or just more than 5?
Hundreds.
Right.
Yes. You do get the idea from this guy that he can count.
Just checking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start counting my ammunition
It's
now.
like 5 5s of 5.
Yeah.
I don't have enough bullets.
But look, I mean, this whatever's made its way up from below will have surged through hundreds of feet of stone and earth, and unless there's some giant hole in the ground.
That is what we must check
Yeah.
for giant hole in the ground.
That's what
Okay,
I'm
I'd like to roll for giant hole check, please.
here. You can see a giant hole.
Oh,
There it is.
Well,
I
you
found
have
it.
the idea that there's a giant hole in the ground. Dan's
We-
doing that.
there we go.
This is like the egg bearer conversation again.
Yep, we're falling foul of it again.
Oh, well played.
He says, I will come with you, but I mean, he looks around like, I don't know where I am. Where would I go right now? I
Okay,
could
well,
walk
if-
in that direction. He says, pointing towards the Braktagar
No,
fires that you
don't
saw.
go that way. No,
no.
no. Okay, look.
I could
if-
go that
if-
way. He says, pointing towards the Dragon Lake.
Also,
No,
no.
no.
Well,
Well,
more,
well, I will
more
come with
that
you
way.
then.
Between those two, if we
Over there.
fall, you head that way. And I will attempt to sort of point in the direction of Emberwagon Tower.
That's Emberwang.
Emberwang. I love it. Sorry, my wife just handed me a hot chocolate.
Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
Karina.
Because you're complaining about not having snacks.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're gonna head into the final
Yep.
hex.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially now you've called it the final hex.
Dee-dee-dee-dee.
Oh, sorry. No, I mean that was the final hex of your planned journey.
Yes, absolutely. That's what you meant.
And now you all die. No. Okay, so you spend the next day trekking across country.
That hole really is very large because it looked very large from back there, and I've been walking for a day.
Yep.
And as you get there, you can see that this whole area is kind of hilly, and then you kind of go up a hill on the edge of this hex space, and you can see ahead that there is now a big crater in the ground. In fact, it's actually a hole. There is a deep hole in the ground. It's still a way off from you. It's still going to take you like a few hours to get there. The whole area around it has just been devastated. There's loose rocks, rubble, just littering all over the place. There's splintered trees, like stuck in the ground. And as you start getting closer and closer, you start to notice the bodies. And the first one you see is a hobgoblin skewered on a tree, hanging in front of you. Like through his body, like the tree has gone into the ground, sticking up, and then he has fallen on it. And it just like completely torn through the chainmail armor that it was wearing. And there's like not even a shocked emotion on the face of this creature. It's just like, oh, and its
This
body
is why you do not fight with the trees. You will lose.
Yeah.
Ragras
I
just
think
sort
I
of
think this
like-
hobgoblin tried to fly.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he flew. I think he flew.
I think it was the landing he had trouble with.
Yeah,
Oh. Yeah.
it is. And you start to see more and more bodies of creatures, and in here and there, you see the odd orc, the odd goblin, the odd bugbear. They're all wearing armor that looks like it's been produced by the same forge, or at least the same set of forges, and they all have on them somewhere, if they still have their clothing. You know, some of them are like it's just a head, you know, or you see an arm lying on the floor, kind of thing. But if you can see their clothing and their tabards, and you can see the stabbed hand symbol of Metalin, who is the god of murder and treachery. Tyranny, sorry.
Should
murder
we
and tyranny.
collect up the bodies and burn them?
You've already seen about 20.
Because I'm looking at all of the bodies and I am thinking, one, sure they are evil and bad, but that does not mean that they should be left with nothing. And two, if Udril is open and forces of Zadomir come through, then also from above, risk of corruption, and then maybe undead.
I'm not sure we have the time. I think there will be a great many of them.
LaRue just looks more pale than usual.
We would need some extraordinary level of cleansing fire.
There is plenty of tree. These trees also are dead.
I feel for the trees more than I do for the hobgoblins, but I understand there is the threat of pestilence and there is the threat of corruption and
Disease, corruption,
undeath.
undeath.
And we've tangled with undeath already in these parts, and that was not pleasant.
Maybe we should have a chat with the dragon, and it can like breathe fire over everything. Not while we're here, obviously, but you know.
Okay, I'm going to put a pin in that one. That's an excellent
Zaltrox.
suggestion.
He says, you mean to talk to Zaltrox?
No,
No.
no, there's another dragon.
The dragon is salt spray dragon and breathes steam.
Yeah, so we just
But
get
steam can be
steamed.
quite hot if you get too many rocks.
Steamed hobgoblin, is that nice?
As you say that, and as you're walking along, you actually see some, like you now see two bodies that aren't skewered on trees. They are kind of laying in the open, and their body has been clearly superheated.
Well, there you go.
Grim?
Let's make our way to the primary hole, assess the situation there, and then see if we need to do a serious cleansing, burning of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Very well, you are the leader.
No.
Everybody make perception or arcana rolls.
Ooh, I'll take Arcana for +9, please, Bob. Boom. What's I now looking at?
Probably just at all the bodies going. It's pretty grim.
Mm,
Bird.
there's a pretty looking cloud in the sky.
Oh,
I'm joking. No, I know you are kind of more than everyone else probably thinking about the implications of all of these figures. They're all dead, but there's lots of them all dressed in military garb that have come up out of this hole. That's probably playing on your mind, like the Ember Watch might get attacked. That probably is filling your head while you're walking along, rather than looking out for shiny things on the ground. Clip and Rasilka, you both spot independently, so you both see something. As you're walking along, you see, Rasilka, you see a light reflect off something about potato-sized, to reference one of our other shows, about hand-sized, fist-sized, and it's very shiny, like stuck in the mud off to one side. And Clip, you see something that is black but has a sheen to it. As you're walking along, you see like the light refract off the edges of it, like it's some kind of volcanic glass or something. And that's kind of wedged in the ground to one side, and again that's kind of fist-sized kind of thing.
I will stride off to pick up the shiny potato.
As you walk over, you see it's actually a it looks like one of Clip's rune stones, but it looks like it's made out of metal, and it's about this big, and you kind of up to you whether you pick it up or not, but it looks like it's actually been finely crafted to look like stone around the edge.
No, I'll just go ahead and pick it up.
Okay,
Not
you
that.
pick it up, and
Yeah.
it's searing hot. No, it's a Temple of Doom. No, you pick it up, and on the other side, it has got a like a rune carved into it.
If lost, please return to.
Yeah, is it a magic rune? Is it like a dwarven rune? Is it something I'd recognize?
Seems to be. Let me see. You are a dwarf, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have dwarfiness as a skill?
Um,
Proficiencies? What you got?
my law skill is games law. I have no
Look.
other like I don't think I got like dwarf
You
as
can
an
roll
answer.
society.
Oh, society. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm all right. I'm trained in that.
Yeah.
10.
You can tell it's an ancient dwarven rune.
All right. I'll be like, oh, I
Can't
found.
quite remember that one.
I should have paid more attention, but class was rubbish. Clip.
Yep.
Look.
What?
Look. I'll run over with the thing. Well, I won't. Yeah, I'll stride over with style.
Okay, we got to work. We've been working on the hand signals, so come on.
Yeah, but what's hand signal for? I found a metal stone rock that's got a ancient dwarf rune on.
Okay, fair. LaRue is working that one up right now.
I found it.
Is Vasilka having to walk all the way over to where you found the shiny thing, Clip? Because have you gone over there?
Yeah, I'm standing over that, and I've
Okay.
been distracted by.
Okay.
He has sensibly not immediately picked up the weird thing in the dirt. Is that what we're saying here?
Scanning everywhere, I noticed that Rasilka's wandered off. Like, oh
no.
You're standing over it, and it's as Vasilka kind of walks up and goes, "I've got one of these. Look, the thing on the floor looks roughly the same size, and your one is actually face up, as it were, the rune visible, and the stone is a as I said, volcanic glass. But as you get closer, you see it's almost got like a little red tinge that shifts through it.
All right.
You can both make a society roll to see if you can. It's harder for Clip.
No. Ooh.
Oh, critical roll. Okay. So you look down and then you kind
Is
of
it up
like,
on
oh,
that?
hang on, this is the wrong way up, and you turn it round. And
Oh,
you're
you've
like,
got that squint. That's what the
Oh.
problem is there.
This one says Unity.
Okay. So we got a metal one and we got a glass one.
Yeah. Aye.
Ragras comes over and says, that's well, some people have called that fire glass. It's some of the what are they called? Those Drider creatures. They use them to fashion weapons. It's brought up from the very lowest levels of Udril. In fact, the overhang above Zadumir.
And so this has come from all that way.
It would seem so. Someone has clearly crafted that for a purpose. As you, I don't need to tell you that, but someone has gone and mined it and refined it and fashioned some sort of stone. It's a lot of effort.
A big Rune Stone. LaRue, didn't you have a dream about Rune Stones?
Yes, but they were much bigger, and they made a portal of some sort.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. And Pete, did the runes resemble anything that appeared in my vision?
Not. It's not the same word, but it looks like, now that you're looking at this, like the same hand carved this rune that carved the big one that you saw in your dream. Remember, the one you saw in your dream was like monolithic. It was like ridiculous. It was like
Maybe oversized because it was a dream.
yeah. maybe. Yeah. But yeah, it looks like by the same hand. And as you kind of hold now, Clip, you're kind of holding the glass one, and Rasilka's holding the metal one. You can see they're actually crafted to look like the same rock, the shape of them. So it's not just an irregular shape; it's a specific shape. They're the same shape. And LaRue, now that you think about it, that shape was the shape of the stone in your dream.
Well, I shall relay this and go, actually, Clip, maybe the dream stones weren't that big and it was just a dream, but they were this shape.
You were very small in your dream. Maybe that was it.
That might have also been what happened, yes. However, I still don't understand what it all means, so I'm still not on my dues to you. What happens if we put them together?
Let's not.
Clang. Immediately. Lack of impulse control.
Clip, make a reflex saving throw. Rasilka, make a melee attack roll. Highest roll wins.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna let that total failure ride. Oh dear Lord!
You do a thing like
Wow.
Rasilka like wafts at you, and you like
That is-
really late move out the way, but she completely misses anyway. She like misstepped.
I'm just looking at LaRue like this will be funny kind of thing.
Yeah. But
LaRue's
as they
completely
get-
confused about what she's just watched, like two of our best like warrior people just like completely flapping in the air. She's just like,
as they come near each other, though, Clip and Rasilka both feel a resonance through the stones. Like in your hand, you can feel a very minor vibration.
I feel a disturbance.
Mm. Put it in my
What
other
kind
hand
of
and
disturbance?
check of not like.
No, there's nothing weird going on with your hand.
Okay, we should keep these separate because they they have some sort of feedback. When we make camp, I can maybe do a little bit more checking out and arcana.
Aye.
But
I have
not-
had hot brown morning potion and wish to go underground in the hole, please.
Sorry,
Do you-
Crow. Right,
Do
let's go.
you need to? Crow needs to go.
No, he's just getting bored.
Ragra
Oh.
says there's a big rock over there. You could probably go behind there.
No, go into hole in ground.
Oh, sorry. I
For
thought you meant go
adventure.
into a hole in the ground. Sorry.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I thought.
No, I'm not
too.
going to pass water into a place I'm going to climb. You people have very strange habits.
Sorry.
I think we were
kind of-
suggesting that you don't do that. But that's okay. Yes, onwards. Thank you. Looking out for more random shinies.
As you progress, you see more scattered bodies, and now you can see that there are the broken bodies of kobolds littering amongst every now and then, one or
Oh.
two, not a huge number. And these kobolds have got a vast number of kind of metallic piercings in their body and tattoos, painted on their scales, that try to make them look more sort of ferocious and dragon-like. The rings in the piercings along their face look like multiple nostrils, and their ears are kind of look like they've been not sharpened but shaped or cut slightly. And the tattoos make their scales look even more there's like a red and black kind of mixture going on. The kobolds look like they are because kobolds are descended from dragons themselves, have dragon blood. These are black dragon kobolds.
I make a society roll to see what that means in terms of sort of lizardy ancestries.
Yeah, sure. Yes, so black dragon kobolds are resistant to acid, as they have got the bloodline of black dragons. They are also, you have heard stories that black dragons and Udril dragons are closely related. And this sounds sort of like potentially a drill dragon possessed with the power from Zadumir. You're not sure. It feels like there's some sort of spirit possession of an Udril dragon that's giving it this flame, and they've marked themselves up with it.
But that's what I mean. This is like a cult following
Oh yeah. They're kind of
type
they've all
deal. Then they're all
they've
trying
got
to mimic.
similar things, so they're all trying to make themselves look like something in particular.
Mm. Yes, very sad when this happened.
Ragrest? These are the followers of Zaltrox, right?
The sworn of Zaltrox, they call themselves.
Yes, see, they have changed their faces to make them look more like dragon. When Cobalt gets like this, it is too late.
He's looking more and more sort of agitated and uncomfortable. He's like, why do we have to? But he's kind of then sort of sees something else interesting and starts drawing it. He's picked up a few bits and bobs here and there from like some of the hobgoblins' armor, little symbols or buckles, little things. He's not loot. You can tell he's not looting bodies because there's more expensive things that he could take. He's kind of like taking some historical mementos, as it were.
Yeah. If you see any more of these Rune Stones, let us know.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. And he just kind of points over to the side. That there's one over there.
Okay, good lad.
You head over and you can see that this one looks like it's made of ice. And as you
Oh, wow.
approach, you can see that, yes, it is in fact made of a beautiful blue pure ice, which does not seem to be melting. which to you, Clip, being an elf, this to you is like it's like the Glorim ice. It's like maybe it's from even further up from Harlig. When the water drips down and down and down to Arlorn and lands on the mountains in Lair Dryar, where most of the elves live, they like collect it. It's magical ice that doesn't melt unless you draw the magic out of it.
Okay, we got some magic ice here. Nobody lick
That is
it.
from high up on the mountain. It falls, and then you lick it, and it gives you dreams.
No, Crow. I'm not letting you carry this one now. I was gonna, but I'm
If,
not
if
gonna
it's
now.
magical ice, maybe LaRue should
Not
carry
wrong.
it.
LaRue's already got pretty close to it because LaRue likes the cold.
Well, do you want to look at? I feel like we should keep them separate, but I feel like someone has gone to a great deal of trouble to. You can touch it. That's fine.
LaRue
I think
pokes
if
it.
you plug them all together, that is what makes the tunnel to the surface.
Yeah, that would be my fear.
You
So let's
you
not.
touch the ice Rune Stone, and again, this one has unity carved into it. And when you touch it, LaRue, you get a very strong memory of Glorim from your family, from the court of I haven't got the name on me. Is it the elf god of mead and music? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But that kind of thing. It's kind of an autumnal feeling. There's a kind of harvest feeling. There's a celebration feeling, and you get this kind of memory flash as you kind of touch it for a moment closer to your ancestors, and you feel Nan's presence kind of nearby, kind of warmer than normal, but still mischievous.
Ah,
Your
LaRue,
rune stones combined, I am Captain Udril.
LaRue kind of picks up and goes, "Oh, that was nice." And she like looks at Clip and like,
Oh,
and then she laughs to herself, knowing full well that Clip would be watching, and she kind of stores it in one of her many little cute bags that she has.
Okay.
And she keeps hold of it, and then she looks around to see if Nan's watching, but Nan's not there, so just prepared.
all right.
Cool.
Okay, so you're going to keep going.
Yep.
Okay. So from another rise, you can see that there is a huge hole in the earth, and here it is kind of staggered crater-like walls as the earth has been shook and shuddered, kind of cracks opening up, and you can see it's kind of pockmarked and difficult to make your way down to the edge of this hole. But you think you might be able to find a way down, and you start to make your way down. There's bodies strewn everywhere here. It's like you've probably seen 100 dead Praktikar soldiers and about 20 dead Cobalts, and it's starting to get quite depressing. It's almost like the scene of a some sort of battlefield, but clearly all of these bodies were blasted by some sort of explosion and then hurled against the ground or a tree or a rock, or and it's some pretty gruesome scenes as you make your way through. And as you're kind of coming to like a little kind of cliff edge, you can kind of see down below you. It's like a kind of slope heading down to the hole, and down by the edge of the hole, you can see something shiny, something kind of blue, glowing blue, and it looks kind of shiny. It's very noticeable because everything here is dark. It's like brown ground with pools of blood and big rocks and stuff, and there's like this little blue shiny kind of look. Maybe it's another rune stone. You're not sure.
I think we should go and get it.
Everyone make perception rolls.
Not paying attention this time.
Mm.
What?
Crow, as you've been making your way, occasionally you've heard kind of in the distance, kind of tree crunching noises distantly. And every now and then there's been like things falling over, and like a tree will collapse under a pressure that's just finally pushed it too far, you know, a rock that'll crack a branch or something. But you kind of hear these like very like you're used to hearing, you know, across the land kind of thing, and it's quite far away, but you can kind of hear these kind of noises. And as you come down, LaRue and Crow, you both have a sudden feeling that let me get the zone.
There we go.
I do not own any tokens with vision in this scene.
Not yet, you don't.
There
Oh,
we
hang
go.
on. Hang on. Wait a sec, let me get rid of that. Let me go to the... Not that one. Just getting your token. Sorry about this.
A jolly hellscape for a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah. Copy you guys.
Somewhere there is a very sad Lorax.
Yeah.
So I haven't. I thought what we'd try on this one is just like you can see everything,
Uh-huh.
but there might be hidden things. But I haven't done the.
I've got some shadows on some of the rocks.
Have you?
Yeah. Not a lot of them.
Yeah, shouldn't do. Okay. And you can see down. Can you see where I'm pointing?
Shiny blue
Blue
thing.
shiny.
It's a shiny blue
shiny.
thing
Yes.
down there. Yes.
Now
Ooh.
the people at
Shiny blue
home
thing
can
down
also
there.
see.
Ooh.
And what's his name? Ragras has said, I'll wait here. This looks like a treacherous path
Ragrast.
down.
Hang on.
Huh?
I don't mean to spook you or out, but being by yourself in a place like this is probably not the best of idea.
Well, we haven't seen anyone behind us. I assume it.
At that point, I will be trilling a warning about whatever is approaching.
Maybe don't go too far behind.
Okay.
And
He
I'll be-
points to a rock nearby and he goes, I'll stand right over there.
Okay.
Have you got a weapon?
He nods down to a kind of dagger he's got on his belt.
Can you use it?
Oh yeah. Don't worry. I'm used to tunnel fighting. That's pretty
Right.
horrid stuff. Right. Sorry, I'm just going to add you all onto this.
If you
Not
need
that
us, just
anything's, you know,
scream.
Not that anything's going on. Crow, you're also aware you can smell living creatures ahead of you.
Okay, there is life ahead. Something living coming.
What does your lizard nose tell you?
That there is a living thing up ahead coming.
What sort of living thing? Is it big? Is it large? Is it tasty? Can we put it in the stew?
Is there more than one?
Also that.
It is smell. You cannot smell numbers. Also, what is with your obsession with eating things that can think?
Smell numbers, love it.
I'm not thinking by the time they're in the stew.
You
Are
still
you
should
sure
not
you're
eat
not
thinking
smelling
things.
Einar? We have been walking for a few days now.
I'll have you know my cleanliness is always on top.
I smell
and
slightly
then
of
LaRue
the
goes-
honey wine. His sweat smell like the honey wine because he drink very much honey wine.
Einar looks quite pleased at that comment.
Fox funk going on.
Right, everyone make. See that? I rolled a secret roll there. Everybody make perception rolls.
Do slightly better than last time. Nope. Oh, it's one better.
Oh, did a good roll.
Okay, Crow and
Animorphs rule.
Crow and LaRue,
Yep.
you are not surprised as you hear a. Does anyone speak Draconic?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Does it sound like the Bracticar stuff we've heard before?
No,
No,
it
this,
doesn't.
this is Cobalts.
Very much not.
You could tell by the squeakies.
Yeah, it does sound a bit squeaky. And a figure leaps up on a rock in front of you. And can you see him?
Oh yeah.
Bettini!
And goes, and it's like making hand gestures at you, kind of.
I'm thinking
and
what we need here is some lightning. With all that metal in his face, that's
what
going
we're
to
going
hurt.
to do is, in fact, two of them. Sorry.
Rue is going to
jump.
enter into a furious negotiations.
Pair jewelry. Start there.
Two sworn of Valtrox leap up onto rocks ahead of you. They're down a slope, but you can see them. They can see you. I've kind of done this area fairly open because you've come from above, so you've kind of surveyed most of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of aware of what's going on. It's not like you're wandering through the forest and coming into a new region. So you can kind of see most of the slope, but maybe not all of the bad guys. And what we'll do is, if everyone wants to roll initiative,
I really want to win initiative.
You can enter into your furious negotiation.
Damn it!
Oh,
I love it. Rasuka wants to go last.
well, yeah, I elect for after you, even though I
How did that happen? I didn't roll.
crit.
Masterdom.
I didn't press anything, but I'll take it
That's weird.
because that's what I rolled a minute ago on my perception.
Maybe it took your last perception roll then.
Could be. Do you want me
Because
to
you
roll
were
it
on the
again?
map. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
That would actually work because you perceived that they were there. So unfortunately, if you failed your perception roll, you don't actually get a go on this first round. So I think Rasilka,
Mm-hmm.
Not terribly anyway.
Clip, and Einar don't get a go.
That's fine.
But let's begin the encounter and unpause the game. There we go. So we skip past Rasilka, who's surprised.
No, I want to do after you, but I still have to roll, so you can put me last.
Okay.
So I will be last. Yet
You're
still surprised.
Okay.
Surprised.
Last
So
but still surprised. Okay, let
Yeah.
me edit update participant to 1. There we go. Sorry, a little bit of a cough at the moment, as usual. Right, then it's Crow or Lizard Person.
What's the rule on holding actions?
You can delay your go into another round until a later stage, but it's or you can say if someone gets within 10 squares of me, I will attack them. But I can't remember the actual terminology, but that one is 2 actions.
It's not letting me target my character.
Ready? Configure permissions. You are the owner. Are you on the right thing?
Yeah, I was on the right thing. It's just suddenly given it to me. Right.
You went
Okay.
on a
I am
ruler.
coming to here and adopting
Well,
for my
blimey, how many squares do you move?
12.
Is that 2 moves?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm withholding my last action for an attack if anything tries to come through this gap.
Okay, so you can, let's get this right, because because of the 3 action economy, there's very specific ways you have to do holding of things. Not to be Mr. Rules lawyer for a moment, but I am. Where are we?
I have no ranged weapons, so
That's okay.
Crow is the ranged
ready.
weapon.
So you can ready.
Yes. Oh, damn it, you got there first.
So you can ready an action to occur outside your turn. Choose a single action or free action you can use and designate a trigger. Your turn ends when you do this. If the trigger you designate occurs before the start of your next turn, you can use the chosen action as a reaction. So basically, this costs you 2 actions.
Oh, right.
And
you
a
can say,
reaction.
right, when someone gets in melee range of me, I will hit them.
So I can't do that because I've used 2 actions to move.
Yeah, but they cut. What's the other option? The other option is delay. Your turn begins. You wait for the right moment to act. The rest of your turn doesn't happen yet. Instead, you're removed from the initiative order. You can return to the initiative order as a free action triggered by the end of any other creature's turn. So what you can do...
Sod it. I'm just going to go up and taunt them.
Okay.
So much for my furious negotiations.
Well, so you've got 2
You
options,
are right,
basically.
Master. The negotiations were short. Sorry, I watched it today. I watched it earlier.
So I'm going to charge forward and get up on that rock, basically.
Okay. Okay. But just for future reference, you can either hold, right? And that basically delay.
Yeah.
And that's when your turn starts, you go, I'm not going yet. I'm going to hold, I'm going to delay. And then when at the end of someone's turn, you can go, oh, now I'm going to jump in and have my turn.
I'm just quite fond of that position in the initiative order.
No, that's fine. That's fine. The other option is ready, and it costs you 2 actions. Basically, you say your first action is on that trigger, I'm going to do this. Yeah.
In fairness, where I am now, it looks like the best they could hope to do is get into combat with me. So,
well, Crow, you do spot that there are actually more than you thought.
That's okay. I have a sweep weapon.
That's cool. Which one is that? That one and that one. Okay.
Plus, it'll draw all the rest of them out, and then Clip can pick off the ones that might get to me.
So, these kobolds behind this rock over here are like pointing viciously and kind of like they see you're like a big lizard creature and they're slightly confused. They're like, oh, is this a little dragon? I'm not sure what to do. And they
the temptation to maybe try intimidating them into following me is also quite high.
One of them is going to
aim to be their god.
He's going to go.
Never fails.
He's going to cast magic missile at you.
You so and so.
Oh, they got magic. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna ask him a question.
Axe him in his face.
Right, there we go. And hits you for 2 points of damage. He's going to run there, and then he's going to try and hide from you.
He can run, but he can't hide.
No,
No.
can't. You're right.
Can't hide. He ducks down behind this rock, but the rock is too small. He clearly is not used to these rocks being too small, and kind of like just his little eyes over the top like that. Okay, the next one then. This dude. Which dude is that? Is that dude? That's that one. And that's okay. So this guy is going to go. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. It's going to come running up there. It's kind of scrabbling in and through the rocks over the top there. He's going,
Stupid ambush predators.
say magic missile at you. I mean, they don't have a lot of spells, so it's not like, but they're quite enjoying the fact that they're shooting you with a magic missile. And another 2 points of damage. It flies, and when it hits you, it like goes like this. Very excited. That one down at the bottom is going to step forward, like he's seen all his buddies. This one down at the bottom, he's seen all his buddies like fire magic missiles at, and he's like, one, two.
Why are
Clearly
kobolds
they've
so
not paid attention
adorable?
to how little damage they've actually done.
Steps forward, and he's going to spend 2 actions on magic missile.
Ooh, brave.
Pew,
I don't know
pew.
how to actually do this in the thing. Cast.
It's heightened, so there should be an option in the spell
Damage.
cast.
It says damage. What I'll do is I'll just put
Roll it and just
each
add
additional action used.
a
for the
third
extra.
extra damage or something.
I'll just put plus 1d4 plus 1.
Yeah.
And then I'll put. Whoa!
Oof.
4 points of damage.
The agony.
And all 3 of them go like this as these magic missiles streak out. You can all see this now. This display of
Oh, it's like
fierce
fireworks.
arcane power.
Awesome arcane might.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When I lived
Uh,
with the gnomes, they would often play with fireworks along the street. It was quite like this.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. That
More
one.
colourful, though.
They are not going to be laughing next round.
No.
I promise them that.
That guy. Okay. And the last one who's standing up on the rock is going to be like, it's going to fire. It's going to do a 3 action
shooting him.
magic missile.
Steady on.
It's like all having to outdo each other now.
Yeah. This guy's like got extra long robes on. And it's like, and plus 2. And 11 points of damage.
Oh, hello.
You see Crow kind of standing on this rock, like getting hit by magic missiles, one after the other. And then this guy
Not laughing quite so hard anymore.
is going. Oh no, he's not. He's not here. Okay. So next it would be Clip, but you failed, didn't you?
Mm,
Then Einar,
thanks, Pete.
but LaRue, you passed, didn't you?
Did indeed.
Right, you see these kobolds emerge from these rocks around the area, and they clearly magical. Maybe this
Well-
cult of Valtrox is Zaltrox is gifted magic by the dragon.
Well, I'm very upset because I had intended to negotiate with them, but they appear to be throwing magic missiles at the crazy lizard that ran forward. So I am finally going to, because I'm before everyone for a change, cast Bless. There's 2 actions.
Oh wow!
That's gone on now, isn't it? Now there is a 10-foot emanation from me, which I can then extend 5 feet each turn. So next turn I can extend it another 5 feet, and any allies in that bubble get +1 status bonus to their attack rolls while they're inside that emanation.
Envy.
Ooh.
So stay within 10 feet of me for this round, and then
10
next round
feet.
it'll be 15 feet for the next round. and
15
so on.
feet.
It grows 5 feet per round. I just have to spend an action to
So
make
like
it.
8 rounds, and you might even reach me.
Well, I can still move, and I'm going to use my next action to just move to here.
If you hadn't run on ahead,
It's
Yeah.
my job.
Yeah, this is normally why I don't get to use blessing, but I'm normally last or definitely not near the front, and everyone runs off so fast that by the time I can cast it, I'm nowhere near. So I've cast bless. So stay within 10 feet of me for now.
Look at that shiny LaRue.
Whoops.
Oh,
Bit too shiny.
Oh my
Sorry.
god! And then yes, I'll just use my action to move to here. There we go. So that's my little emanation in a moment, but it will grow. So stay within that, and you get +1 to your attack rolls. And I'll try and keep up with everybody.
Oh, excellent.
And that's my turn, because the bless is
Wow.
2 actions.
Excellent. Okay, right. Next is Deed. Hang on. Bear with me, everybody. I'm doing secret things.
wait for the dragon.
Okay, not very good. Crow, you see another kobold who's trying to sneak around the rocks on the far top right. He just climbs up the edge of the cliff, scrapes some rocks off behind it, which kind of draw you to your attention. And it
I mean,
just
these
seems
guys are kind of lucky I don't have a ranged weapon, to be fair.
but he doesn't do anything. He's spent all his actions like trying to sneak around the outside and failing miserably. And then we have Rasilka.
I only got 10 on my
Oh, okay, right.
perception.
Cool. Right, so
I
you
was
go back
assuming
round
that
to-
was
So you go back round to the beginning, and it's lizard person.
Right, sudden charge.
Whoa!
Oh,
Going for the fancy dude.
Incorporating a little bit of a jump off of there.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I'm going to introduce Fancy Robe Chap, who did the most damage and looks most important, to the sharp end of my axe. Where are you, sharp end of the axe?
That's a hit.
wow.
That's 2 actions.
Disappointingly
for that.
low number.
That's
But
2
yeah,
actions.
sudden charge is 2 actions, and then the hit is my 3rd action, so I'm good.
I thought, isn't sudden charge like everything's wrapped up into one thing?
Oh, good point. Yes, I've got another
that's what I
hit.
thought.
I have
Yeah.
got another hit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's 2 moves and a hit. So yeah,
Mhm.
I've got a map action.
Hit him again.
Meh.
That's a hit.
I'm going to re-roll that because that's rubbish.
Oh,
That's better.
Oof.
Wow.
That's.
You're like,
Oh, yeah, that really hurt.
blood
Okay,
is
good.
coming out of it, and it's like, and it looks around at the others, going.
It's not so funny now, is it? You thought you were clever. Out of
Yeah,
20 points of damage.
Mr. 3 magic balls.
Who's next? Right, this guy who's over here is going to go skipping over the rocks to there. What's the range on magic missile? 120 feet. Oh yeah, look at that. It's going to shoot. He goes. Fires, shoots a 2-pointer at you.
Oof.
So we're going to have 7 points of damage on Rasilka.
Let me take this. There we go. Ow!
Yep, that was his go. Right, next one is the one crows run past. This one is going to bear with me 1 second. Okay, feet, right? 30 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, not quite. It runs up towards Crow, a bit closer, near beside a rock, and stands there and goes. And for
Thanks,
a
mate.
moment, a dragon emanation flares up around it. It's the rings piercing in its face, becoming those nostrils of a larger dragon head, and it still a quite pitiful little roar, and it casts fear at you.
Ooh.
You plant fear in the target. It must attempt a will save. Please make a will save. Yeah. On a success, the target is frightened 1. So
Just a regular success, or is that significant enough to be a crit?
it's not, unfortunately. It was a DC 20.
Okay.
So the thing is,
Close.
like, you're slightly startled. It's probably more startled than frightened. Like, you're like, whoa, these things have actually got a bit of dragon magic. That's his go. The next one is going to go. Looks up at the shiny fox lady and is like, is he close enough right now?
How high are those rock walls? Because he might not be able to target her.
Yeah, he's gonna. You can see the glowing light, but he's like, where's he gonna go? 2 about there. No, sorry, can go to there.
They're quick little monsters, aren't they?
Yeah. And it's going to shoot a magic missile
And bring kobolds. Yeah.
Mm.
at LaRue.
Oh, that will not be worn.
Ooh.
Do not shoot the healer.
They seem to be quite excited when they fire their magic off.
I understand that.
Right, next is the one in close combat with the lizard person. He is going to get the fuck out of there.
Unless he can run like 120 feet, he's gonna get butchered still.
Oh, yeah, but
I don't
doesn't
get
know.
attacks of opportunity, do I?
no, unfortunately not.
You defeat
But
for that,
This
don't you?
creature is actually going to flee the battle. So he runs over to the edge, not the edge of the cliff with the big hole, but just the edge of the map. And
Measuring something there, Dean.
runs off,
Does he now?
just runs away. Clip, your go.
Well, I was going to shoot the fleeing one, but I won't. Someone's taking pot shots at the rune. That just will not happen.
Remember to step inside the bubble.
Then I don't get 2 shots.
Remember to step inside the bubble. Wow,
If you'd come and stood next to me.
outrageous. I put down a bubble for everyone.
It's a lovely bubble. It's a lovely
lovely.
bubble.
It's lovely. I'd rather have 2 shots than a
Yeah,
+1.
there's a few intervening rocks in there. I'm going to say it's going to be my +2 to its armor class from your angle there, Clip. Those 2 big boulders.
That's nice. Fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, sorry. Which one do you think I'm shooting?
The one at the top.
No, it's shooting the one at the bottom.
No, I'm shooting that one.
Oh, you're shooting that one. Oh, that's fine. Sorry.
Yeah, the
Sorry,
one
I
that
thought you
the
were
one that shot
Because you
LaRue.
measured up the top. I thought you were measuring up the top.
Oh,
No,
that
no,
was
no.
when he was trying to get the one that was fleeing.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to shoot the one that shot LaRue. Go for it.
Yes,
That's fine. That's out in the open.
is the plan.
Since the bullet goes past LaRue and goes through the blessed zone, does it get a +1 on the way through?
Yes. I think that's right.
I'm willing to allow this.
Absolutely.
Hang on, what?
You suggested it. I'm really
Nice.
going to hope that's a hit.
That's a critical.
Yay! In that case, I will roll the critical button. just for extra giggles.
Oi.
Nice. That should deal with that little problem.
You like you blow a massive hole in its body. And it
Off my
squeals in
healer.
pain, does a backflip, lands on its back, and you think, oh, it's dead, and then it goes.
Reload. Shoot again.
Yeah, it's going to take 3 actions to roll around and die.
Bang.
Ouch.
That's a hit.
Bang.
And as it sits up and goes, you blow its head off.
And stay down.
It's like that bit in Saving Private Ryan. The guy's helmet gets hit, and they go, "You lucky bastard!" And he takes it off, then gets shot in the head.
Yeah. Gruesome, but accurate. Right, is that your go, Clip?
Yep.
Einar.
You can't run 3 times, can you?
Oh, shit.
move 3 times.
Sorry. I did
Sorry.
that wrong.
Hmm?
What did you do wrong?
I should have got my first shot bonus, which probably would have killed it. Anyway, never mind.
Never mind. It's dead.
There would be too much for every. Well, I could have shot the other one. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. That's on me.
Einar.
First move.
Yep.
Second move.
Should move 35 now.
I do indeed.
Wow.
Yeah, we both took fleet, didn't we?
Oh, blimey.
Oh, I'm an 8-foot chap. I've got rather long legs. So yeah,
Okie
that's,
doke. So
that's
your
my
go.
entire game.
Right, LaRue.
I will spend 1 action to make my bubble 5 feet bigger, because I'm desperate to make this work and do something. And then I shall move my
There you
2 moves.
I quite like that little emanation thing.
I do
Good.
too.
Ah.
Or do I just Divine Lance that little bastard in the corner there?
I thought it would be like blue snowflakes, kind of, rather than
So it's-
golden
it-
glow.
Yeah, it's more
Berry
like you're walking,
blossoms falling in the area.
Yeah.
yeah, walking through a snow globe essentially.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just move. That's my move to there, and then Rasilka can come over and stab him and get bonuses.
Yeah.
And I also need to realise I need to change from the ruler thing to the selecting move thingy. Yeah, I'm gonna move over here to here. Boop, and then
Oh.
Rasilka can go and stab it in the face and get +1 to do so.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
And
I will make
someone
this
will at
bubble
least
work.
be making use of
Someone will use the damn blessed bubble.
I will.
Okay, so
Doesn't it increase in size as well?
Yeah, I've just done it. You just did it another 5 feet.
Yeah,
It's now 15
yeah.
feet.
you're now blessing the kobold.
Allies only.
He's he's looking up at you like a bit scared now. He's like,
Well,
Okay.
should have allowed my furious negotiations.
very true. So the what are we? Oh yeah, he didn't get to do that. Okay, so as you approach the creature, Einar, it looks up at you like, ah, and it is going to
Poop its pants.
cast fear on you, and it goes. Tries to make itself big. It's standing on tiptoes. It's like got its arms right up, like Cat in Red Dwarf. And he goes, "Make yourself look big," and it's like this, and the dragon kind of illusory outline appears around its head. So you need to make if you click on the DC, will or failure,
I'm going to use a hero point.
go for it.
Not that it will make a difference the way I'm rolling tonight, but there you go. Oh, 24.
Oh, success. So you're only frightened one.
I'm
that's good.
frightened. I'm frightened even after getting a 24.
Yeah,
Yeah, happened
success
to me too.
means the target is frightened. 1. A failure means frightened 2, and a critical failure is frightened 3 and
Yeah.
fleeing. If you'd got a critical, then you'd have ignored it.
Wow.
Yeah. There are
But there's
things.
frightened and then there's frightened.
Yeah, frightened 1 is like a -1. It's nothing. -1 is nothing really.
It would definitely be nothing if you stand inside a bubble.
Oof.
Oh man, so good.
We're
We
trying
have
to
to
say that.
name the episode something to do with the bubble. Right. And then it's going to not that one. No, it's going to attack you with its claw. Breaks its nails on your armor. And it like goes to claw at you again with a pitiful look in its eye. Is that hit you? No, missed by one.
Armor class. Oh, armor class has gone down. I don't know why. It
'Cause
was
it's frightened.
20, now it's 90. Oh, okay.
Because they're frightened.
So it's like it's like scratching ineffectually at your armor.
Like being mauled by a kitten.
Indeed. Rusalka.
All right. I'm going to run all the way over here because I measured it just before and it's 80 foot, which is 2 moves
Okay.
with my fantastic panache.
Oh yes, of course.
And then I'm going to switch my finisher on. Hopefully kill him. So
+1 to hit.
yeah.
Ooh.
Let me just add this
Wow.
bonus in. +11 to this roll. 23.
That's a hit.
Hopefully this will just. Oh yeah, it will. Ah.
Oh man.
You got a reroll though, Millie, that someone gave you earlier.
Yeah. How do I re-roll?
Just click the damage again.
Oh, okay.
Wow. What
I'm
are
guessing
the
he
odds?
takes 9 damage.
Yeah. It's a different roll though. Previously it was a 1, a 6, and a 1. This was a 2, a 4, and a 2.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, you know,
Oh.
that doesn't help at all.
Right.
I'm just like.
Do you want me to finish that one off for you?
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't do the hand thing, like really, like dejectedly, sort of like
Pointing.
this one, and a duck a bit, you know. Just like looking over, like over at LaRue, being like, I tried. Yeah.
The end
Right.
of each of my turns value decreases by 1 on frightened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So is that the end of this turn? It goes
At
away.
the end of this turn, it will go away.
Right,
Unless
okay,
someone fears you again.
I'm going to
I thought they had some funky little spells to use. So be a
go
bit
to
fun.
here. I don't really need to sudden charge it. I mean, I know I could, but there's no point. And I'm going to hit up. So I'm going to do a big uppercut with the axe
Okay.
in an attempt to render this little kobold chap somewhat airborne.
He's looking a bit smug and he's kind of staring up at you with kind of glee in his eyes. Oh, you missed.
Oh, I'm going to spend a hero point to reroll that.
You also have rerolls, Ben.
I used one of them.
Have you?
Do I have
Oh.
more than one?
No, I think we just have
No,
one
I
each
think
at
I
the
only
minute.
had the one. So I'm going to use hero point. I think we've got 2 hero points at this point anyway.
Yes.
Yes.
And not far away from a third.
Is that a hit?
That is a hit.
Right. Okay. So I hit him up into the air for 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And then on his way back down again, I backhand him. No, I don't. Oh,
Hero
fuck it.
point.
I'm going to spend that last hero point. Oh!
Ah.
Trouble if I die now.
It-
Although, to be fair, he's got a long way to go to kill me.
yeah.
I have
Yeah,
just failed to invent golf.
Cobalts. Right. Okay. Next, it is one of the sworn of Baltrox, the one in close combat with Rusalka. And it's like, "Ah!" as you like stab it with a rapier, and it's like, "Ah!" and it jumps back, like moving away from you.
I'm at. Did it not try and critically fail so I could opportune riposte it? That would be great.
Unfortunately not.
Mm.
And it's going to magic missile you
Ugh. Rude.
for 2 actions.
Oh, even ruder.
I know. 2 magic missiles fire out at you.
Brasilka the ruddy annoyed.
Real.
Ruddy hell.
Right, where's the next one? Oh, the one that Crow just attacked. So that one is going to. Where's that? Ah, that's that one. Okay. It's going to do a similar thing. It's going to squeal, jump back, or flap its arms as it's in midair. So it 2, 3, 4, flies back, jumps backwards over over a dead body that's lying speared on a rock, and it's going to double magic missile you. These kobolds are quite annoying, which is exactly what I wanted them to be. 7 points of damage there. Crow.
They really are annoying.
Okay.
They're doing the finger guns, right?
They are totally doing
Oh,
finger guns
They're
as
like,
well.
Okay, good. Good. Just checking.
yeah, absolutely. Clip, you'll go.
Yeah, I'm pissed off with this finger gun crap.
Yeah, show them what a real gun does.
Yeah, I'm gonna move myself.
Oh, into the bubble.
Well, I can't
Bubble.
quite make it into the bubble, sadly.
Yeah, that is the bubble.
It's
That's
in the
lovely.
bubble.
70 foot, that's the bubble. It's
Yeah,
15 feet. It's just the kind of the emanation kind of fades slightly at the edges.
Yeah, sorry. I just need to remember to change the thing.
Yeah, you've got to change the thing
He's
from
in
the
the
thing into
bubble.
the other thing.
There's 2 people
Woo!
in the bubble now,
I
Larry.
can't believe it. It's so amazing.
This is the
I
best
can't
fight
believe it's not
ever!
bubble.
Yeah.
I am
I've-
contributing.
I feel all
Tactics.
tingly. I feel all tingly.
Yeah.
And,
As you step in, you hear this weird Japanese type music. Doo, 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 and then there's blossoms flying around you.
Tong, tong,
Yeah.
tong.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm gonna bring up the hand cannon. So I get a +1?
You get +1, yeah.
Okay.
And I hit him, so you get a bonus for that. Oh no, that's the damage, isn't it?
That's on the damage.
Excellent.
Marge.
So let's hope.
Even better.
You get a +1, and you get a +1. Everyone gets a +1.
Everybody.
Everybody.
That's a
Bang.
hit.
And then it'll be whatever this is, but +1.
Ugh.
5. It's the hand cannon. It's a bit smaller. Bang.
Not happy.
Finger
Einar.
guns.
Okay, let's see if I can fork him.
Stamp on him.
I mean, I probably could. I mean, how tall's a kobold?
About 4 foot, 3 foot.
Yeah, so
I
he's
think
less
they're
than
only like
half
3
my
foot
height.
high.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
19,
was giving
isn't
some
it?
serious thought
That's
to
it.
stamping, but the axe does more damage.
Nice.
Damage. Stab it through in the meat of its body and it squeals. Terribly in pain. It looks
Oh,
round you at the other guy behind you and goes.
I'll flick it over this way.
oh, that's
Batter
not
up.
gonna do
We'll
it.
invent baseball if we can't
I was
invent
given
golf.
a re-roll, so I'm going to try that.
Okay.
Ugh.
No, unfortunately
Now,
not.
can you grapple in this?
You can grapple if you want to.
Aha! Once again, we make Pete look up the grapple rules.
I mean, very small kobold,
Always.
very big.
Oh, it's
Jotun.
like you're going to make a roll against their strength DC or something like that. But give me 1 second, and I will find the grapple rules. 242. It's under athletics. So it's probably under your athletics skill in your skills section. Where are we? Grapple. You have at least one free hand. Yeah, you're using two-handed weapon, aren't you? I suppose you could let go with one hand. You attempt to grab an opponent with your free hand. Attempt an athletics check against their fortitude DC.
All right, I'll give that a go. I'll see if I can grab it because they keep trying to run away.
So hang on, let me put that in. Where are we? So athletics. Go for it.
19.
Okay. Yeah. What is their strength? Their fortitude DC. Oh yes, that's definitely a pass. It's not a critical though. So your target is grabbed until the end of your next turn.
For what it's worth,
Or unless you
in
move.
the actions compendium, you can pick up the grapple action and just
drop
click on
it
it
in
as an
your-
action.
And you can
thereby
drop it in your actions
skipping-
on your character sheet. So you
Yeah,
can
that's
do it
what
in the
I just
future.
put grapple onto my
Mhm.
character sheet.
Cool,
So
we'll do
you
the same.
can,
until it escapes. So it
Just do it.
can try to escape. Let's try it. Let's see what escape is. Escape. You attempt to escape from being grabbed. Blah blah blah. Choose one creature. Attempt to check using your unarmed attack modifier against the DC of the effect. So typically the athletics DC of a creature grabbing you.
also this then puts all of that information into your character sheet.
Yeah,
So it's handy
It's
to
very
have.
handy. Very handy. So what's your athletics bonus?
Well,
Roger?
it's plus 10, but as soon as my turn ends, it's plus 11.
Okay, so it'd be a DC of 21
Oof.
for it to escape using athletics.
But they are tricksy little buggers.
It's an action for it to do that, but you have grabbed it successfully. So right, LaRue, it's now your go.
I'm gonna make a single move. I've got the wrong bloody thing again.
Oh.
So that the bubble is there, because I'm going to trust that Rasilka's got this.
Oh,
I
you're
always
just walking forward with
the bubble,
wow. It's
and
like a
then
team building exercise.
yeah, and then Clip's only
That's
one
cool.
move away from the bubble, so he can reload and get into the bubble with his Harmonia. And then I'm going to Divine Lance that one that's standing in the middle open that's been
Oh, wow.
zapping
Ooh.
in my friend over there. So Divine Lance, kablamo into that guy over there. Oh, I'm going to use a hero point because that's not very nice.
Do it.
Come on, this is good.
Oh,
Oh.
rerolls have not been friendly tonight.
My dice roll are always terrible. Well, okay, well, I missed. I was very upsetting. That was 2d4 plus 4 damage as well. I would have.
Oh dear. So there's like
Don't worry, Dan, I got that one.
energy blasts
Yeah,
across.
I just wanted to contribute to the actual fighting side
You
of
did
the combat.
contribute.
project.
You've
You
helped.
blasted a nice hole in the intervening rock in between you.
You are a
There's like
participant.
right. Next is the creature that Roger has grappled. Einar has grappled. When he gets back, should we all just say it's escaped his grasp?
Okay.
No, here we go. I'm going to make an athletics check to see if it gets out. So this is an action. It's trying to escape. Oh, it doesn't have that down as a skill. What's athletics under in terms of
Strength.
strength? Oh dear.
Yep.
It's going to need a natural 20, but it's going to squirm and shake and try to escape. No. In which
Very
case, it's
Great
going
deal
to
of squeaking.
claw him.
Hmm.
Roger, the creature just failed to escape your grasp,
Wonderful.
but so instead it's going to claw you. Or not.
Gonna try.
It's gonna I assume you like picked it up or something.
Oh yeah, I would have lifted it
And
up.
it's like going.
Otherwise, I'd have to like kneel down to keep holding it down there.
It misses you. It's claws scraping. I mean, it already broke its claws, didn't it?
Mhm.
Scraping on your armor. It's just like.
I'm assuming the frightened condition needs to come off me still because my armor class
yeah.
is still showing
Left
19.
click on it
yeah.
in the top corner
I've done
and
it.
it will
I've done
go.
it. I've done it.
Sorry, right click.
Gone. Sorry.
Okay, Rasilka, your turn.
Stop.
Right. I'm going to attempt to demoralize this one that ran away. So
Moralize, nice.
yeah, I'm gonna
To get some panache.
yeah, to get to panache, exactly. So
Awesome.
I'm gonna shout at it, and I assume I'm gonna shout in Dwarven because they're from like, and they might not understand the Dwarven per se, but they'll understand like the tone and the inflection
Yeah,
of a
yeah.
very angry dwarf. But
Doesn't everything sound like swearing in Dwarven?
yeah, but that's okay because I've got what is it?
They don't need to understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I've got
Ah,
the
yeah.
intimidating prowess, which is the thing. So
Especially crude.
especially
That's the-
crude. So I've got to attempt an intimidation check against its will DC.
Okay, right, hang on. Its will DC is 17.
Okay. There we go.
Oh,
Critical.
critical success. So it's frightened 2.
Frightened 2.
Wow.
And I gain panache, which means I'm a little bit faster. I'm bolstered by the fact it's wet itself or something.
Is it panache? That's an on-off thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not an amount of
Yeah,
panache.
just on and off, which is good because I wouldn't have been able to get there if I didn't get panache.
Okay, I like it.
So now I'm like, oh yeah, worked. And I'm gonna run over.
You're a true Pathfinder player.
Yeah. And as I get there,
hmm
I'm just gonna use the finisher again. I'm just gonna literally
Do
gain
it.
panache to use panache, and try and stab him.
Is it like a cartwheel, or are you like running up power slide?
Yeah, there's definitely a power slide in it because he's low, so I have to like slide in low.
Oh, very
to,
true. Yeah.
there we go.
Oh,
28.
Critical.
Oh,
critical.
29. 29.
29 because of the bubble.
That is a critical hit.
Oof. 25.
That's what you meant to do earlier.
You have a shish kobold.
Just power slide in and then flick the rapier at the end. Just be like, plonk.
You slide the rapier up its left nostril,
Out his brain.
it's out the back of its brain,
Mm.
and when you pull it out, you tear off several of its ring piercings,
Oh, nice.
and they're still on your blade.
Chic.
You're like,
Pun,
oh, it's
pun,
gold.
pun,
I'll keep
pun,
those.
pun.
And I take a breath and I look at LaRue and I nod, as in, yeah, all right, no, I've still got it. I can do this. It's fine. Yeah,
Lou's like,
Thumbs up.
look over my shoulder at Clip. I killed him. Sorry, Clip.
And we will go back round to the beginning. Crow, you'll go.
I'm going to try my golf trick again because I still think I'm onto something with that.
Okay.
So we're going to charge into him.
Just so you know, elves invented golf a long time ago.
But I don't know that.
True. That's true.
So,
Okay, well,
Blat, up
that's
into
a-
the air he
that's a
goes.
hit, Yep. Okay. You whack him up into the air. He screams in pain.
And then on his way back down,
You hear him again. Okay. You intend to knock him far.
I
You
think
hit
I just
so
misted him,
hard.
didn't I?
You hit him so hard, your axe just goes through him, like suddenly, and he lands, and he goes, and then he slides off.
Slides in half.
Like that cool Johnny
Oh.
mnemonic
Oh dear.
with a monofilament.
I haven't actually raged this fight.
I
Oh,
was
yeah.
wondering.
Yeah. Are you feeling okay?
No, it just didn't seem worth
Like
it.
Clip.
Calm. As I know, as mentioned, I know there's one more because I can hear the squealing, but I can't quite see it.
but if you move into the bubble, you could.
Could I though?
It'd be a tight angle, but you could.
Mm.
Oh,
You
you
moving-
could. If you came all the way across next to Rasilka, you could shoot down that line.
Hey, Rasilka.
Hey, Clip, we're not like. It's got memories of when we were shooting folk on top of that forge thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that one Einar's holding?
Yeah. I'll
What you
give
reckon?
you. I'll give you a copper if you can hit it in the face.
Okay, I'll take that.
He's got it around the neck.
Yeah.
It's going to be +2 to its armor class because there's just a lot of stuff.
And a
going
crit
it's
on.
foe,
Einar's
hits Einar.
But I've got a +1 for standing in the bubble.
You're in the bubble.
Yes,
You're in the
bonus.
bubble.
Okie dokie.
Bubble boost.
I've got
And
hero
you've got a
points
hero
and
point now 'cause
rerolls.
it's gone 11.
Oof.
That's a hit.
That is a hit.
I'm
Tracer
shining
fire
ammo.
as well.
using the shining out. I just noticed that. That's fine. I'm quite happy with that. So,
Oh.
whee! Boom. I will take that.
Max damage.
It's max damage.
I just
know,
reach
you're
into my
standing there,
purse and
you've-
just giving me copper.
I know, you're standing there holding this kobold up by its neck. You know, you've picked it up, you've got it, and it's like just squirming ineffectually, and then suddenly it gets blasted by Clip, you can tell. And you like look over your shoulder, and Clip's like,
Just handing you money. I've deducted it from my character sheet. You have to
Just-
have that copper.
tucking it in his tunic as he's
Thanks, Candley.
Worth it.
Absolutely. I'm gonna have to add a copper piece now. I'm just gonna kind of salute Einar. You got this. Reload. Start cleaning my gun.
okay. Einar, it is your go.
All right, I'm going to drop the kobold, reverse the grip on my Rancer, and just kind of skewer it to the floor.
Okay, cool.
Drop it so Clip can't see it anymore. It's Michael.
I got you down to half points, Ben.
Oof.
That's a hit. That's one skewered kobold. Oh yes. As you stick, you throw him down on the floor and he lands face up. And you plunge the Rancer into his body. And there's a moment where it looks up into the sky. And there's a look of hope. And then and it dies. And that's the end of the combat.
Could also have bowled it at me. That would have been fun too.
I was really tempted to launch it at you.
Rune kobold.
So all the kobolds are dead, and you're all here in the distance, far away, a flapping of wings. You'll turn, you'll like scan, make perception rolls.
Oh crap.
Need a good roll right now.
I'll take 24.
Thankfully, I'm standing between the two people who just rolled very well.
Yeah.
It won't let me
Sucker is
make
pretty
a.
amazing.
Oh,
Pretty
it's 'cause I'm trying to
amazing.
roll initiative. That's what's wrong. Stupid person.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, that's not bad either.
so Clip,
Battle
Rasilka,
2.
Crow, and Einar, sorry.
Search
Just
the
LaRue,
skies,
who's not
people.
aware what's going on. Yeah, it's not a case of like there's a dragon flying over, but this now you're looking down where you are, you kind of see this huge hole in the
Mhm.
ground, and as you can see on the other side down this hole, I mean it's huge. It's like 400 meters across. It's massive hole,
Mhm.
and you can see that it's not like a completely smooth hole like this. It's kind of like, you know, goes down. So there's probably a way, if you wanted to climb down. And from where you're standing, you can kind of see like holes in the far wall. And that one looks like it's actually like the cross section of a corridor poking out. Like this is torn up through a load of subterranean corridors and
So
things.
them be the tunnels that Regas was talking about.
Mm.
Not necessarily. I think these might be dwarven tunnels from Lost City. Rugrats is
And-
talking about deeper tunnels.
Not their name, but okay.
And further around, the three of
Kior.
you who rolled over 20, you notice like a disturbance of earth and tumbled trees and things, and like something big has landed, like again, like a few hundred meters away, like over there in the chaos.
I was just going to stroll over to Crow and lay on hands.
Oh,
Ooh, very nice. I'm gonna
12.
run
I see how it
over
is.
to the blue shiny.
Can't even do healing anymore.
I'm coming with
You'd be
Silka
like,
because
I heard something
Okay.
big, but I want the shiny thing.
yeah, we should grab the shiny and then we should get the heck out of here.
as you approach the shiny thing, you can see there's not one shiny thing, it's actually 3 shiny things. And they are kind of being in close proximity is kind of giving them some sort of glow. One of them is a kind of sandstone looking rune stone.
Oh, more runes. Okay. We're gonna
One
need more bags.
one looks like granite. And the third one looks like some sort of serpentinite or something that's like a slight green tinge to the stone.
Serpentinium.
Well, let's.
Do you want to check them out? Look at their.
I'm conscious of the big flappy thing, but hundreds of meters away, which
Yep.
sounds far. But when you're a big flappy thing, is like I don't know,
It's not.
2 move
Fly
actions.
speed of 100 feet.
Yeah. So
Okay. Oh, just chuck them
I'm
in the
sh-
bag. Let's go.
chuck them in a
Let's go.
bag. Chuck
As
one
you-
to LaRue.
As
and-
you pick them up,
Okay.
the granite one and the serpentinite one both have Unity written on them. The
Okay.
third one has something else written on it. And we
What?
make a society or law if you've got it. Something relevant.
Dwarven
That's the
law,
Captain Planet
presumably.
one.
Games
Dwarven
law.
law.
My only law.
Probably not that one.
I will make a society roll.
Eh. I have so many girls.
Ah, 20.
Mm.
Nice. It has the ancient dwarven word for edge of the world.
Oh, I say the dwarven word because it's probably not like edge of the world. I'll say
That's
that.
Kesben.
Kesben, edge of world. Let's go. Come on. Not the same. Let's go. Kesben.
Oh, so that is
Okay.
like my dream.
Yeah. Well, we need a gate to activate with the key, which we don't have, but we should go.
You know the dragon that the kobolds like. Like I'm just a wee bit nervous that he's come to find out where all his kobolds have gone. So
Yes, and he is a bad dragon.
not Ruddy amazing. I don't want to be Ruddy roasted.
All right.
Yeah.
No, it is okay because he is probably a black ancestry dragon, so you would not be roasted. You would be boiled alive in acid.
Yes.
Also,
Yeah.
don't
That
want to be that. Let's go.
dissolved.
But, Silka, if you
Mhm.
were roasted, I bet you taste great.
Oh, thanks, bestie.
What is it with you people and eating things that can think?
Yeah. That was
You are all monstrous.
a little bit beyond. Can we head upwards and follow Fancy
LaRue.
Ropes, dude?
LaRue. Nan is standing on the edge of the hole
Mm,
and she's going,
I'm gonna walk towards the edge of the hole and look over. Can I see anything?
you look down and you can
Don't
see
do it.
now that jutting out of the wall beneath you, there is what at first looks like a ledge. Then you realize it's actually kind of the floor of a large hall, like directly beneath you. And there is scorch marks all over the kind of surface and a faint kind of pattern on the floor of this hall. And it's quite far down, so it's very difficult for you to tell exactly how big it is. But make a perception roll to see if you can kind of glean anything especially interesting. or like occult or arcana, or if anything like that. If you've got.
No, I am terrible. All of the above. So that actually is my best trait thing to use.
Okay.
I'll use a hero point to rewrite because I feel like it might be important for me to know something, and I don't want to have to jump down there if I don't have to. Okay, I'm gonna have to jump down, aren't I? God almighty. So
you can see there's some sort of pattern on the floor of this chamber down there, and it just feels like, when your ancestors kind of try to nudge you towards certain actions in a day, like magic or this kind of thing. It feels like that kind of nudge.
No, Larue is right. We cannot escape from a dragon up here. They fly too quickly. We should go below and hide.
LaRue has no idea. She's not paying attention.
Staring over the edge. Like,
Yeah, LaRue's not having an idea. They're having a moment.
I'll just stroll over to LaRue.
Is Nana still standing next to me?
So Nana's standing there, but as Einar steps into the same spot, she fades away.
And that literally scares the crap out of LaRue. She's
Don't be afraid, it is only I.
There's some
now,
pictures.
Einar, can see this floor of a hallway. Looks like, again, the kind of walls here are jagged and uneven, and it's been exposed from underground.
That's important, Einar, but I don't know why.
What are we all looking at?
Do you need to have a closer look?
And LaRue suddenly just goes, let's see if this works. No, she falls over the edge and dies.
Can I grab
I'm using a hero point. I'm not having that happen to me. With my dice rolls,
It's like
all the way down.
There we go. LaRue bounces. It looks like she's going to fall. She kind of leans over the edge. And I was like, ah. And all of a sudden she just starts bouncing off of things in her fox form to get down very, very gracefully and wonderfully.
Okay.
And then lands with a flurry and then bows.
So you hop down about 60 feet down.
That's fine.
And you pounce down from one rock to another, jutting out. A bit of earth crumbles away, and you move on. And then you kind of land down on this kind of flagstone floor. And in the center of this chamber, which you can now see is pretty big, although you're in fox. How big are you in fox form?
I'm 6'1" in fox form.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I can never remember which way around it is.
6'1" in fox form. I'm big. In human form, I'm little.
Okay, so it's the other way around than I thought it would be.
How many tails have you got at the minute?
I've got 6 tails when I'm in fox form, and I have 2 tails when I'm in human form.
Cool. So it's a fairly big chamber. It looks like there used to be pillars running all the way the length of it, but the bit behind you is exposed now to the hole, and some of the pillars have fallen over, or there's just kind of the base bit left. All the flagstones look kind of loosened, higgledy-piggledy, like some big force has made them all rupture. And in the center of this chamber is a pattern on the floor. It's like an arcane kind of drawing, and Einar's climbing down. It would be helped massively if you guys had ropes, but yeah, I mean, you can climb down. It's kind of lumpy rock, and as I said, it's not sheer.
I have a rope.
Oh, you have a rope. Okay, cool, excellent, even better then. So Einar's descending as you look around, and you can see that in the center of the chamber there is in the floor there is a hole in the floor, the size of one of these runes that you guys have got.
Is it just one hole, or is there multiple holes?
There seems to be just one hole.
Is there any symbols nearby that match the?
Are you trained in Arcana?
Well, I don't think that I am actually.
No.
One second.
Okay.
Let me have a look. Arcana.
Right, Pete, for my 23, can I climb down and set a rope along the way so the others can get a bit of a boost on the way down?
Oh, I was already kind of halfway down doing that.
Okay. Yeah.
Then Pete, I take the ice one out of my bag and I plug it into the hole because I have no idea what it does.
Oh, okay. You're just going to go ahead.
Yeah,
So
I'm just gonna-
Einar, you get down. You've been setting this rope up, which will help Clip get down fine. It just, this is more of a role of how fast you get down there. And LaRue was very much so
Not
quick. 'cause
fast enough,
you're
by the sound of it.
27.
I have 2 feats that might help me get down there quite quickly, actually.
Okay, go on.
I have Rock Runner. My innate connection to stone makes me adept at moving across uneven surfaces. I can ignore difficult terrain caused by rubble and uneven ground made of stone and earth.
Okay,
Um,
lower DC.
In addition, when you use the acrobatic skill to balance on narrow surfaces or uneven ground made of stone and earth, you aren't flat-footed, and when you roll a success on one of these acrobatics checks, you get a critical instead.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
So acrobatics, lower DC, and if you get a success, it's critical.
And I have catfall. Like your cat-like aerial acrobatics allow you to cushion your falls and treat falls as 10 feet shorter. There's more, but I'm not an
Well,
expert
here
yet.
it's not a sheer, as I said, it's not a sheer
Right.
drop. So you're not like in true fall danger.
Okay.
You might just roll all the way to the bottom of the hole because it keeps going down.
Sure. I don't want to do
Nobody
that.
needs my help, then I'll just climb down like a lizard and go down head first.
I'll try and catch up with LaRue as
Okay.
fast as I can. 23.
That's you get a critical success.
Yeah.
So like moments after LaRue has arrived, you kind of hop past Crow, cartwheeling down the rock surface, and arriving as she pulls the ice Rune Stone out of her bag and is about to going to slot it into a hole in the floor.
Bestie, is this the brilliant idea or just a mediocre one?
Sometimes it's best to wait for it to happen before you judge the type of idea that it is.
All right, I'm with you. And I'll just sort of like run over and be ready to
Yeah, I'll just
back her up.
I'm just going to casually saunter over towards LaRue.
Okay.
LaRue knows more about this than
So
I do.
LaRue knows more about this.
I know,
I have
has
a
no
card-
idea. He's
I have a
just kind of
card
like,
free. I mean,
Okay. So as you slide the stone into the hole,
No. Okay.
Clip arrives. Crow's kind of
Hey.
like, cool. Clip, you arrive.
How's it going? We all
must be the
good?
slowest putting of stone in the floor
As it
ever.
slides into the hole, you all hear a boom tone like ring through the floor. Ooh,
Well,
and you hear the voice of 100 dwarven like choir singers sing the
That is-
word unity
that's
through the room.
nice. It's nice.
And the room fills with like a glow. Boom. And you kind of look out and you hear from across the chasm, across the hole, boom, 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 other areas. And as you look across those holes and corridors that you saw dotted around, you see like light fill some of them. Boom, doom, doom. And there seems to be like a growing kind of, you think the room is shaking, but when you look around you, it's not even moving. You feel this kind of resonance in your body. And you're kind of like standing there thinking, oh my God, this is cool. And the runes on the floor start to light up. And you get the sense that something bigger is going on around you. And then you hear, and swooping down into the hole and hanging in the space in the middle, you see this huge a large dragon, I should say, because huge and large are technical terms. You see a large dragon and it appears and it looks in it's like 200 meters away, but it looks in the chamber you're in. And this creature is huge. It's kind of more serpentine style dragon, obviously accustomed to like tunnels and things, but it still has wings because you've heard there are vast chambers in Udril which are big enough to hold cities in. So there are, some creatures do still fly. And its body shimmers as if it is sometimes black skinned, sometimes steel skinned, and sometimes as if there is like a burning fire beneath and through between the scales, connect them all together. There are kind of fine tendrils coming off its head, much like the kind of fear ghost image you saw around the kobolds when they cast their magic. And these look like traceries of fire and little embers kind of trickling off them. And its body is moving in the air, but it's holding position. And it's like, you'll come into our domain and activate the Unity Gate. Who goes there?
Very mediocre.
I think this is the time for
I
some
think-
fierce negotiations.
I think mediocre is generous.
I'm going to
Hello
walk
there.
up to the edge of the stone platform and bow respectfully at the dragon. Because it's still a dragon.
As you bow and as you all sort of say things, it breathes a spray of fire and roars. Name yourselves or be destroyed.
So is it on
Damnation.
our side of the gate or the other one?
Well, no, your room is lit up with light. There's no gate in your room. It's just
Oh,
like
okay.
this tone and this sound, and you can see it going on in other chambers through doorways in the hull. The dragon's sort of floating, hovering in the middle of the pit.
Have we come up with a name
Staring
for
at
our
you.
team yet? Are we like Amber Watch? Is that who we decided we were?
I think that was what was decided, yeah.
Yeah.
We are the Amber Watch.
All right. Well, it's either me or LaRue as like.
Just love the idea of Rasilka walking up to the edge of the thing, going, "Hey up."
Hey up. You're
Hey,
talking
Joe.
to Amber Watch.
At this point, I should point out that I do have a +6 in diplomacy and am also a lizard.
I got +10.
That's better.
I have
Yeah.
+9.
Yeah. I've got 11 in intimidation. I could try intimidating a dragon. I mean, she'll have a go.
Yeah, it might have a
Would be
goodwill DC. you
Pretty
never know.
amazing.
Yeah. All right. I'll swish my fancy cape. I'll take a big gulp and be like, talking to Amber Watch. For us all.
Are you servants of Bractagar?
Oh no, we hate Practical.
I'm going to spit on the ground.
Servants of no one.
You are beasts of our lawn. Fire kind of trickling out of its nostrils.
I mean, beast is a strong word. We do live on our lawn.
Step aside from the rune stones. Leave them where you stand, and I will let you walk away with your flesh on your bones.
Now, this seems like a steep original point for negotiations, but I feel like we can find some common ground here. So, what are the stones for exactly?
Put them down and leave, or die.
Is there a tunnel near where we are? And if so, how big is said tunnel?
As you turn around, you can see there are a couple of doorways leading out of the place, and it almost as if it kind of senses what you're doing. It starts to move towards you, and we will leave the episode there. As Zaltrox the Cruel, as you've been told as its name, approaches you, and all 5 of you stand ready to take on this funky underworld dragon that I've kind of messed about with. And you guys all level up. Congratulations.
goodness.
I mean, it's
Just
probably not
as
gonna help.
well, frankly, because
Now, do we have to have a long rest to get these benefits or not?
No, it's like Pathfinder is like World of Warcraft. Ping.
Oh, good.
So what do you get for leveling up then?
Oh, we can do that later. Let's.
whole bunch of stuff.
You get a
Let's
whole bunch of
not
stuff,
do
don't
that
you?
now.
Class feat at level 4, and you get an attribute boost, but you can't do the ones that you've done over the last 2.
Yep. Armor class goes up, all your skills go up, blah 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 blah.
Cool.
Oh,
okay.
a dragon.
Right.
Oh,
wow.
good.
Thank you, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Great
bit of
idea.
role-playing, little fight. I wanted a nice, an annoying battle. Like I was trying out a few different things with a bit of magic and stuff there, just to see how that would work. But you guys did fine. I mean, there were level 2 monsters, but still, it only instructed me to give you 5. Which is
Magic missile
interesting.
is really annoying.
It is really annoying. That's why I thought, oh, that would be annoying.
Oh, it's actually also really effective.
Great for those creatures as well, because their chances to hit you were
Mm.
very poor, but they could do 4 spells. So them doing magic missiles was pretty effective. I mean, we got Crow down to half hit points, so not bad. Not as scary as an Udril giant, but probably more annoying. Cool. I like the way you all descended the cliff without thinking about your orc buddy as well. That was good.
Oh,
I
shoot.
was thinking about him, but everyone else was down there plugging stuff in. So
Oh,
it's like,
no.
oh, well, Clip told him, where to head back to if we didn't make it out. So
And I was so worried about him earlier. Oh,
That's happening.
naff.
Cool. And yeah, hit points go up. Don't forget. Yes, absolutely.
yeah.
Cool. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. That was a lot of fun. Very much enjoyed that. Next time we will be fighting Zaltrox the Cruel.
Not running, you lot. Fuck away.
I was going to say that sounds like a strategic withdrawal. I was trying once
Sure.
again to furiously negotiate. Apparently, it did not work.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Cool. Okay, right. So thank you very much for watching. If you are watching on Twitch, please follow us and come and watch us on YouTube as well. And if you're watching this back on YouTube later, do come and follow us on Twitch. We also have our Discord, although Discord wasn't really working very well today.
It's back.
We've got
Ooh.
630
Probably.
members on the Discord. Come and join us and talk about our shows and RPGs in general and all kinds of other fun shenanigans. And also check out our Patreon. Got loads of free stuff on there. So even if you don't want to sign up, which is fine, we've got loads of free cool stuff on there. And if you do want to sign up, then you can get things like the maps I've created for this adventure, plus loads of other things. You can even come and play games with the Garblags once a month at certain tiers. So go and check that out, please. Right, what have we got going on for the rest of the week? Ben.
We have got Wrath and Glory tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, we're going to start some
Glory.
Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory tier
I wrote a whole
1.
song for that ages ago. Does anybody remember that?
Yep.
Go
Yeah.
back through the Discord and find it.
Oh yes.
So that's tomorrow. On Thursday, we've got the One Ring. Come and be wowed and amazed by our hilarious comedy accents.
Yep. That's a good set of them.
And then on Friday, I'll let Rog have this one. Go on, Rog, you can do it. What have we got on Friday?
Friday, we have part 2 of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay: The Enemy Within.
Well, why don't you make it
Oh,
sound
yeah.
exciting?
Because it's 11:30 at night and I'm tired.
And also, it's no, everybody's excited for it anyway. We could be like, yeah, we're just gonna read the WFRP rulebook out, and everybody be like, yes, everybody loves it.
Yeah, so come and see how things go horrendously wrong for the party as we try and make our way to Waldorf.
It is at Starfinder in the US.
I think it is this
North
week, yes.
America. I think so. I think we've got Starfinder from our North American buddies.
All flavors of Paizo.
Yeah. Cool. And we've got, I think we've got a few more weeks of this, and then we're going to be doing
Something
Coriolis.
else.
Space. Cool. Okay. Right. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for watching us. Lots of fun tonight. We are Garblag Games. Stay safe and happy gaming.